right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Cori Bush kicks off her re-election campaign, the support she's gaining, and the challenger ready to face off against her.
Well, another day of cloud cover, fog, and rain. It seems like we can't get out of this pattern, but we're finally going to improve our visibility here over the next few hours. What that means for your Sunday and when we'll finally see the sunshine again.
But first, more problems for Bar PM.
I really don't see a whole lot of transparency with the city in the matter. The matter of the fact is, you guys drove through the bar and you're not doing anything to help.
The city imposed deadline for owners to make repairs after a city police car crashed into it. Thank you for joining us at 10 tonight. I'm Brent Solomon. The city of St. Louis could condemn a building weeks after a police car crashed into it. Bar PM's is still boarded up from the damage, and city leaders are telling owners to take action. 5 on Your Side's Andy Crawl now with the very latest.
Hearing a drink being made at Bar PM on Saturday night is very different than what it sounded like around 12:30 a.m. on December 18th.
No, you're not.
Yes, you can.
You're not going to cause this.
Arrest him.
I'm not causing this.
The LGBTQ bar co-owner, Chad Morris, being arrested, originally charged with felony assault of an officer and resisting arrest after being asked to show his ID when St. Louis police crashed into his bar. He lives above it with his partner, James Pence. Police said the officer driving was heading too close to a parked car and was distracted by the police radio. He tried to correct himself, but lost control of the vehicle. After a St. Louis police cruiser drove into Bar PM back in December, they're still open for business this weekend. However, that may be in jeopardy after the city sent a letter to the building owners saying it may be condemned.
A letter in the mail on the 22nd. It was dated the 19th of December, the very next day, basically indicating that St. Louis is trying to beautify the neighborhood and make it a safe place, et cetera, et cetera. And oh, by the way, you've got 60 days to get this repaired or you could face fines or condemnation.
It's a rented bar space, but building owners said they have until February 19th to fix these boarded up windows. The St. Louis building commissioner saying in a statement Saturday, the owners of Bar PM received our very general letter with the broken window and shifted wall violations, and both were cited. In the letter, it explains the citizens' right to appeal. We have no reason to condemn this property.
But we're not going to let it go by the wayside. This was done by the police, intentional or not, and I don't believe that it was intentional personally. I do believe that it was just an accident. And accidents happen. Take accountability for the accident that you caused.
Reporting in St. Louis, Annie Crawl, 5 on Your Side.
Again, one of the bar's owners was originally charged with assaulting a police officer and resisting arrest. Tonight, he's only charged with resisting arrest. That's a misdemeanor. An unloaded gun recovered from an East St. Louis school. Now a boy is in custody. Administrators found that gun Friday afternoon at Mason Clark Middle School. The school was placed on lockdown as authorities investigated. No one was hurt. The school was able to dismiss on its normal schedule.
Hey, look out! Look out!
A man taken into custody this morning after hitting the back of a police car. Creve Coeur police sharing that video with us. Police say the driver was drunk. It happened as officers were investigating a different crash off of I-270 just after midnight. No one was seriously hurt. Lieutenant Jonathan McIntosh says they're lucky this didn't end in tragedy. Impaired driving accounts for about 21% of all fatal accidents in Missouri. Tonight, a man is charged with murdering his brother in Iron County. Officers arrested David Sharp at a motel in Louisville, Kentucky early this morning. The victim, 65-year-old Daryl Sharp, was found dead in his home Thursday night. Sharp is now facing charges of first-degree murder, stealing a motor vehicle, and armed criminal action. Some rain off and on today, but it looks like things will clear up tomorrow. Meteorologist Gary Frank here now with that good news, right, Gary?
Yeah, we're gradually clearing up. We'll start out with rain getting rid of overnight, and then we'll try to break into those clouds, which have been around. Fog, rain, cloud cover, you name it. It's been around for the last few days. Well, it hadn't rained every single second every day. It feels like it has in some regard. As you look outside, wet roadways continue, and you know what? We had to put a countdown on. That's the countdown since the last time we saw non-overcast conditions at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. It's been over 6 days. Yeah, it's not just you, it's us too. This system is very slow moving, but we're starting to see at least far northwest Missouri start to clear out just a little bit. It's going to take some time though. It's still raining here. You'll see mainly the heaviest rain is in the Metro East. I'll zoom in. It's still hanging around downtown, but more of a light rain or drizzle on the Missouri side. That trend should continue into the overnight hours as you look at the arch, and it kind of looks spooky. The crow's still flying around 39. We've gone down a little bit, a northwest breeze at 15 miles an hour. And over the next several hours, we're not going to change a whole lot as we continue to see temperatures holding steady. Rain ending by the early morning. But what does that mean for the afternoon? Will we see that countdown come to a close tomorrow? We'll see about that and also talk about temperatures maybe approaching 60 degrees in the extended forecast.
Oh, we like that. Congresswoman Cori Bush launching her campaign for re-election today. She's seeking a third term in Washington. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, reports from Bush's campaign launch event in Northwoods.
And I rise like today.
Hundreds of people packed this strip mall campaign headquarters for hours Saturday afternoon.
I call it church.
Congresswoman Cori Bush and her allies spoke with religious fervor about the cost of war.
Then they want to take $50 million in Missouri dollars, $5 million in St. Louis City dollars alone, and send it to go help drop bombs on kids. I say that $5 million that's being used to drop bombs on babies, give us that money back. That money needs to be right here in St. Louis.
The only Palestinian-American woman in Congress traveled from Detroit to give Bush's bid a boost.
This is a place that births movements.
While Bush criticized the Biden administration policy in Israel,
Because the president may be mad.
Rashida Tlaib told the crowd the Congresswoman relates to people in poverty.
Because the majority of our colleagues are millionaires. They're in an income bracket that will never understand what it means to live check by check. They don't understand copay. She's telling you, I know how it feels.
Bush's campaign sold T-shirts and raised donations,
I need some money.
expecting she'll lose the fundraising battle to St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell.
A lot of ads are going to be flowing. They want to buy this seat.
The two members of the so-called squad railed against AIPAC, the influential American-Israel Public Affairs Committee, which could funnel millions of dollars to try and defeat Bush.
This Congresswoman will never sell you out.
Bush rallied her base to go on defense
We got to attack back. We got to attack what they throw at us back.
and encouraged her backers to blunt attacks from any of her critics who saw her early calls for a ceasefire in Gaza as ceding ground or surrendering to terrorist attacks.
This is not about anti-Semitism. This is not about whether I hate Jewish people or not, because I absolutely don't. What it is about is white supremacy. It is about one group being greater than another group, and we tear that down no matter where we see it.
Reporting in St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Wesley Bell's camp has not responded to our request for comment on this story just yet. Well, tonight, the 20th annual Mr. HBCU Kings competition continued its big tradition in St. Louis. This was a scene at the Marriott St. Louis Airport. Young men representing historically black colleges and universities all across the country have been in the area for several days now, performing community service and building leadership skills. The HBCU Kings Conference wrapped up with a big competition tonight to crown the top king.
Have an opportunity for black men to come and show off their talents, their intellectual capabilities, their oration skills, and build a brotherhood.
Participants say the friendly competition builds confidence and unity. The winner walks away with not only the title of Mr. HBCU, but also $2,500 to travel and spread his platform. Coming up.
I get informed emails about what I'm going to get in the mail that day, and sometimes I don't get it.
Problems with the post office. Why some people in North County say their mailboxes have sat empty for weeks.
Cloud cover and rain again, but it's all part of this larger system, which is finally sliding off to the east. What that means for your Sunday, and when we'll finally track the back edge of that cloud cover right over our area.
Well, some families in North County tell us they're having trouble getting their mail. Some have been opening empty mailboxes for weeks now. In a service alert issued Friday, the post office says processing, transporting, and delivering mail have been delayed across the country due to severe weather. They say you should allow a little additional time for delivery. But these delays are impacting more than just families. It's also slowing down their business.
I've received phone calls and some emails inquiring about my customers. They're inquiring about their packages, that they haven't received it, and it may have been 2 weeks ago. I can look up their tracking number and I can see that it says delayed shipping. We need our mail. We got to pay bills. We need to know what's going on.
Well, the post office says they apologize for any inconvenience and they're asking for patience as they work to fix the issue. Police found a man's body inside of a crashed car downtown. Police say they were called to South 7th Street by Shoto around 1:30 this morning, and that's where they found a man shot in the head. He died at the hospital. We don't know the victim's name. A South St. Louis home goes up in flames with the family still inside. The St. Louis City Fire Department showed up to Oregon Avenue around 7 this morning. They found heavy flames coming from that home. Crews believe the fire started on the back porch before spreading to the first and second floors. They also believe everyone inside was able to make it out safely. We don't know what caused that fire.
Rain is almost out of here, but clouds still hang tough. Why this is moving so slowly and when we may actually see the sunshine ahead.
Today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. It marks the anniversary of when Allied troops liberated the Auschwitz concentration camp. Nazi Germany targeted millions of people, including Jews, Roma, gay men, and people with disabilities who they deemed inferior. The St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum is hosting some events to mark the date, including the Pay As You Wish weekend. All tickets to the exhibition can be bought through tomorrow at a donation of your choice. A citywide effort to encourage kids to read. It kicked off this morning. It's called Literacy for the Lou, hosted by St. Louis Public Schools. The program started as a way to help improve reading scores for third graders specifically. One way to do that, according to the school district, is to make books that kids want to read and make them available.
Books that are identifiable, books that have characters that look like them, that are culturally relevant to them. And we are going to be giving those books to these students so they can have their home libraries kind of bolstered up. There'll be books around that they actually want to read.
While thousands of books were given out to kids, parents got some things out of it too. The district gave resources to families to teach kids how to be better readers and to encourage reading outside of the classroom. All right, earlier today in your Weather First forecast, Gary Frank had a timer thing going on. What's that about? I mean, are you bringing it back or what?
No, I'll bring it back at the end, right? For a minute, we get some time, but you know, we're over 6 days since we've seen non-overcast conditions, right? It all kind of blends together because it was all a work week and it was into last weekend, and you know, it's still overcast right now, and that's kind of been the big story for us the last few days as the rain continues to hang on, especially in the Metro East, and it is just very gloomy even as we look downtown. It's been over 6 days since we've had cloud cover. We've had fog pretty consistently, dense fog advisories, you name it, but we've been at least above freezing. So everything has melted. It's still pretty safe. We got to 42 today. Our normal is 41. One of the most positive things you can say is that, you know, we're at least going in the right direction when it comes to our statistics. You know, it's a warm spot on average. Overall, we've already passed the statistical coldest period, but we're still hanging on to this cloud cover. Look how long this takes. And this is a very slow moving system with not much to push out of here, as we've seen upwards of almost 3 inches of rain over the last few days. That rain continues to move in that north-south direction, but this whole system will gradually work its way off to the east. And eventually you'll see maybe a few flakes of snow mix in the Metro East. Temperatures still stay above freezing. Not much of an issue. It's overall mostly rain, but just don't be surprised if you wake up in the middle of the night, see a few flakes 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Won't be an issue. We remain above freezing and pretty much the same all day tomorrow. I will say with a northwest breeze at 10 to 15 miles an hour, look, the sun's trying to come out. Overall, I don't really think it does, but by Monday, you'll notice specifically this cloud cover finally exits. Watch Monday morning. Still cloudy, fog around, then it's gone, and then we're in pretty good shape. We are going to be warmer than average the next few days, which is 41 degrees for an afternoon high, and I think overall that trend continues the first part of February. I am looking at a backdoor cold front by Tuesday. Comes out of the northeast rather than the northwest. That's why it's the backdoor cold front, and at least kind of moderates us for a couple of days, maybe not 60 degrees as close, but that's where we're looking Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be warmer. Next few days, we go from 41, which is our average, to 24 in the morning, and we're way above that the next few days. In fact, it's going to take us a while to find temps below freezing in the morning. 59 degrees Thursday. I think it's overall cooler Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but still. We've gotten past that part, and we're kind of transitioning to get some rain, and now we'll dry out for a few days.
We like it.
Yep.
Thank you, my friend. Well, we have Corey standing by now with sports.
Well, I hope you guys like basketball because we have an awful lot of it coming up in sports, from college teams looking to get back on track to some of the best high schoolers in the area. It is a loaded sportscast for hoops. We are back after the break.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Now, I don't want to alarm you, but if you don't care for basketball, you may not love this sportscast. We have a lot of hoops to cover today. At the college level, all 4 of these teams were trying to get back in the win column after tough losses last time out. SLU's up first, and nobody needed to win more than that man, Travis Ford. Bills took on his old program at UMass tonight, Chaffetz. This was encouraging. Big game for Larry Hughes Jr. That was 3 of his career-high 14. Bills down 9 in the second half, trying to stay close. Gibson Jimerson for 3 of his team-leading 16. Frank Martin was not happy for UMass, but he did love this. A late bucket and 1 for UMass. That was the nail in the Billiken coffin. UMass wins 84-73, and SLU is now dead last in the Atlantic 10.
At some point, you got to look your man in the eye and say, all right, I'm going to stop it. I've been there. I've played the game. I played it, so I get it. You know, sometimes you just got to figure it out to survive. And we've got to all figure it out together at this point.
Brad Underwood was styling for the coaches versus cancer game against Indiana today. This was a chippy one. This was right before halftime. Both teams jawing at each other. Illinois just made a few more big plays at home today. Coleman Hawkins look out and 1. Luke Goody, this is going to be good for a late 3 for the Illini. And then we go to Justin Harmon into the lane for 2. That made it a 4-point game with 30 seconds left. Indiana did not make a 3-pointer all game long. Illinois wins 70-62.
Really proud of our guys because you have to win these games. You have to find a way. When you don't shoot threes and make them, they were 0 for. It's one of our big philosophical deals. It becomes very hard to win.
Dennis Gates and Mizzou looking for their first conference win today on the road at South Carolina. Tigers made it interesting in the second half. Sean East football pass Jordan Butler. That's a dunk. But South Carolina made 10 threes to Mizzou's 2. Gamecocks win 72-64 to drop the Tigers to 0-7 in the SEC. Let's check in over in Edwardsville. SIUE hosted Tennessee Tech today. In Collinsville product, Rayshawn Taylor was hot early and often. He had 18 points and 8 rebounds to lead the Cougars over Tennessee Tech 74-57. SIUE is 12-9 on the season. And the basketball action wasn't just on the college level. We had some outstanding matchups on the high school court today as well. Let's go to Vashon. Wolverines hosted a Winter Classic shootout. They took on Cape Central in the nightcap. And these guys, they're just really, really good. Christian Williams, corner 3 to start it for Vashon. Then 6'8" Nicholas Randall sticks with it. He's going to get the finish later on for the Wolverines. But here's the play of the night. Nasir Binion, jam time. The gym goes crazy. Vashon beats Cape Central 76-50. Hey, I know this guy. Mizzou head coach Dennis Gates off the plane and at Vashon to watch 5-star Tiger commit Aaron Rowe and Tolton face Gates' high school alma mater, Whitney Young from Chicago. Rowe can really do it all. Vision on this alley-oop to Xavier Wilson, and then he does it on his own. Watch out. Here comes another jam time. Rowe and Tolton win 68-58. East St. Louis at CBC, good Cross River matchup. This was a physical game, very physical. Darian Enlow into the lane. That's a bucket for the Flyers. Other way, Teron Garrett, big three late for the Cadets. Now this game went into overtime and East St. Louis was clutch with their free throws down the stretch. Flyers win 71-70. Great girls matchup here. Defending state champs Lutheran St. Charles on the road to face a 17-2 Lift for Life squad. Hawks fly first. Diamond Polk steal in a bucket. Let's go the other way. Jordan Spicer, layup and one. Back to Lift for Life. It's Polk again, this time from deep for three. Let's do one fast break, though. Kennedy Stowers finishes it off for Lutheran, but Lift for Life, well, they defended home court today. They get a big win against the defending state champs, 71-65. Lots and lots and lots of basketball.
Yeah, you weren't lying when you said you got to love basketball for this
yes.
one. Very good, my friend. All right, Gary, why don't you take it away?
Well, you said you wanted to see that counter. Well, here we go. We're counting down. Yeah, it's really a count up, I guess, but, you know, that's just the way it shows up. 6 days, 3 hours and 36 minutes, and 20 seconds and counting since we last saw non-overcast conditions. That pretty much means we haven't seen the sun in over 6 days, and there's probably a song we could probably think about. Well, you know, I haven't seen the sun in 6 long days. You know what I mean? Like something like that. And I think we're finally going to see maybe a few breaks tomorrow, but especially on Monday. And,
All right, sing that one more time.
Well, it looks like we're running out of time.
No, we got plenty of time.
Don't go looking for a recording contract.
We've run out of time. Oh, that's what they've said. We've run out of time.
That's my job to say we've run out of time. That is our time, my friends. Thanks for the company. Saturday Night Live is next. You got a voice?